hello. You're fast. Okay. Give it a little bit here while I adjust a couple things per usual. Since it's going to be, 3 hours of stream time. You literally woke up. Well then, what fortuitous timing. Let's see here. Okay, that should be that in place. Just need to grab this. Okay. So last time, oh, you missed the previous stream? Yeah, we also went like, I think 6 hours. 6 hours on Sunday. No, Saturday, not Sunday. Saturday, my time. Just to wrap up the rest of Canto 7. So we finished that. Holy crap, it was really, really good. It's definitely... Canto 6 is still very, like, my number one, but Canto 7 is really, really close behind. There was some really crazy good and cool moments in 7. So... Looking forward to Canto 8, but we of course have the Intervallo and some minis, Intervallos and some minis to get through before we get to that point, which is where we're going to be starting today. Starting with this mini, 5th Walpurgis Night. Church of Gears, interesting. Is this the order I want to keep? Why does this look weird? I can only go in with 5 at a time? Oh. Let's change this order then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe you last. Wait, nope. Yeah, you, then you, then you. Oh, I can go with support, which means I can get some more currency. No currency. Okay. Never mind. No bonuses. I don't expect this part to take too long. It's the Intervallo that's gonna be the most of the stream. This seems like a good place to end it, Dante. Alright. I do consultations with the sinners when there's a need to do so, but I also invite them for regular consultations as well, regardless of the necessity. Our conversations were usually pretty inane and somewhat perfunctory, to the point where I feel like I'm just going down a list of things to say, asking obvious questions like, how are you doing? Are you dealing with any difficult emotions? Or other queries of similar nature, which means that most of our consultations end up being idle chatter. But, well, so we're good here, right? Faust believes so, yes. Your continual growth has been observed throughout the repeated consultations, and no changes for the worse or problems with your tenure as the manager have been found. That's good. Faust was always the last sinner on my consultation list, and whenever I finished consulting her, she would have me participate in her consultation in turn. These are rather valuable opportunities for me, given that they're pretty much the only times I ever get to voice my concerns without hesitation. Not to mention that they are also chances to try to brainstorm how we go about resolving them. It is. Do you have any further questions? As I was listening to Faust, sitting across from her and cleaning up the documents laid out on my desk, my calendar came into view. Oh yeah, it's happening pretty soon, isn't it? By it, you are referring to the Walpurgis Night. I feel like it's about time it happened again. It's been... Artemis, what are you doing? Hi. It's been happening pretty frequently as of late, to the point where they're occurring once every few days. I don't know how rare this event really is, but I'm starting to develop some sort of intuition as to how often it comes. It seems that you found yourself a pattern of sorts, Dante. However, the basis by which the Walpurgis Nights occur is pure chance. There are no rules that dictate their frequency. Huh. Really? But I just have this feeling and intuition that it's about to happen, you know? Faust has come to understand that your feelings, Dante, may sometimes yield exceptional results that elude any sort of logical or sensible explanations. However, to find patterns in which there are none is... Faust had just begun her explanation with a barely noticeable grin when she was prematurely cut off by the all-too-familiar alarm and the accompanying light show of green flashes. You were saying, Faust? It is always a pleasant surprise to encounter such uncertainties. You don't look pleased at all, though. Let us head to the driver's seat. And with that, she hurriedly stormed out of my room. She's a little upsetty. Sometime later. This is one weird place, huh? Are we in some kind of prison? The air smells dank. You okay, Gregor? I think we might be underground. I was wondering if we get to visit the L Corp headquarters again. I'm pretty sure that's where we'll be going on our next Walpurgis night. Huh? How do you know that? Doesn't it seem like they're taking turns to appear? The patterns are telling me that this time we're inside a book of the library, I think. Any thoughts, Faust? As I have stated earlier, the basis by which the Walpurgis Nights occur is pure... The hell are you blathering about? Quit going off on tangents and answer the question straight, yeah? Always, for the sake of efficiency, immediately and succinctly explicate your point when replying to your superior's questions. Understood? Indeed, this event seems to take place at a period of time when the library existed. However, it does not seem to be the case that we will be facing abnormalities here, as we had done so in the past. Huh? Then what? Wait. Shh. Voices. They're close. With everyone hushed, I could hear voices muttering from a distant hallway. It seems that this place is a place of congregation for an emergent religious group once known as the Church of Gears. The Church of Gears? So, do they worship literal gears? Or is it more symbolic, like they're worshipping the sacred values of labor or something? Excuse me. Faust gazed into the distance, blinked a few times, and continued as though she realized something. Not exactly. They consider themselves to be, as denizens of the city, nothing more than gears. Their belief is that their misfortunes stem from the fact that their current lot in life has placed them where they do not belong. Such was Faust's input. Is she getting all this from the Gesellschaft she mentioned before? Huh. They don't seem too off the mark then. Plenty of people in the city have jobs they're not fit for. Perhaps so. However, do understand that the laity of this religion, dubbed meat gears, install their objects of worship known as thought gears, gears made from humans, into their own brains, and... Okay, point taken. You can stop now. Oh, yeah. What was I even thinking? Of course they're just another bunch of crazies. Yeah? What the heck? Rhodia brought her hand to her mouth as though she was about to vomit and shook her head dismissively. Anyways, so what are we supposed to be doing here? Do we kill him? It is uncertain where the end of this scenario lies. However, as your proposed course of action has often led us to solutions, it likely will not be much different this time. Please, a moment. What is the scenario that you have mentioned in passing? just realized I forgot I had adjusted this recently. There you go. Should be a little better. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I caught that too. It is only a hypothesis of sorts at the moment. However, please recall the past manifestations of a phenomenon in which we, once the goal determined by the scenario was deemed complete, were immediately returned to the bus's corridors. And given that the beginning and the resolution are always identical, as though the scenario is resetting from cycle to cycle, it can be surmised that we are repeating the same scenario. There are other rooms in the back door with similar attributes, given that they also consist of rooms that repeat certain scenarios until a certain objective is completed. It can be said that the prospect of this hypothesis turning out to be correct is not entirely out of the realm of possibility when it comes to technological limitations. And recollecting, as you say, I find that there were instances in which we were invariably made to reach the same conclusion, regardless of the specifics of our methodologies in battle. Ah, verily, hast thou not said before, young Faust, that our actions, taken within the bounds of the realities manifested by the powers of Walpurgis not? Ah, thank you, Don. You always mess me up. Were indeed events of the past, yet manipulated not the history of the world wherein we do exist. That's bio. Okay. Correct. That is another evidence for the hypotheses that these are but scenarios. Hypothesis. So, even if we were to kill those worshippers, they're not actually dying, right? Still carrying that soft heart, aren't you? But it just doesn't seem right. Attacking someone who could speak just like we do without really getting to know what's going on seems, you know? The intent behind your question is understood. Yes, you are correct. Phew. Testing. Do you copy? An unfamiliar voice suddenly whispered into our ears. Who is this? The heck? Since when did we have these things in our ears? Gregor. That's when I realized that the centers were all equipped with something resembling transmitters in their ears. What the shit are you guys? It's me, Stefan. Wake up. We gave you a subcontract because you were supposedly much better at blitzes like these. We even made quite the fuss when we were handing it over to you, remember? Come on. Let's just do our jobs and go home, okay? Or is this another tantrum about how we're taking 60% of the reward? I see. This appears to be our role in this scenario. We all know that the Church of Gears is one nutjob factory, but don't let the ickiness get in the way of the mission. Got that? We got this straight from Director Eugene of the She Association Section 2. You have to capture their leader alive. If you screw this job up, we can all say goodbye to that payday we've all been looking forward to. So I'm leaving it to you, okay? Hey, what does this leader look like? Holy shit, are you insane? You didn't even read the documents we sent you before going in there? Okay, I guess they did infiltrate the base without even reading the intel. Maybe they're veterans who really are just that good. I won't deny the title of a veteran. Oh, well, you'll know the moment you lay your eyes on the leader. Veiled face, huge gears in the head, and all that. That appears to be an appropriate amount of intelligence to identify this target. Great. Then, let's do this. So I've seen... Has there been a mini for every Walpurgis Night? Are we chaining? We're chaining. No, like this. And this. Really? Well, damn. All but 2 had a mini. Okay. And that would probably be the first 2 then that didn't have one. Yeah, I got Ryoshu. Nope, we'll go this way. Yeah. And then... Nope, she doesn't.
그대는 어디까지 가고 있을지. 들리세요? 한상의 상황볼과 24개의 늑골이 마지막으로 남길 말. 그 슬픔을 배운 원망도 옅어지나. 잠깐 저리 땡기. 좀 예술적이네요. 끝도 없이 몰려드네. 대가리엔 이상한 톱니바퀴나 받고. 정말 안 떨어지게 잘 관리하라고.
Everything's dying before Faust can even do anything.
낮도 밤도 지 숨이 타듯 태어냈던
Scene 4. Oh my god. Oh, the 1st and the 7th didn't. Okay, for some reason I thought the 2 wouldn't know. They had something kind of like one for the 1st? Okay. Scene 5. He's got enough. Yeah, he's got enough to do that.
어디에서도 볼 수 없을 이 순간이 파도로 되어내리라.
마지막으로 남길 말.
글쎄요, 가져가요.
Oh, did I finish up tying those other 2? I gotta check after this. Or I guess the next time we go into a fight. Pretty unsettling, but they didn't give us too much trouble, huh? Yeah? My weapon kept slipping out of my hand because I had to stop myself from throwing up. Brains and all that blood and chunks of flesh whenever the gears turn to crush the... It is ill-advised to mouth what imparts you nothing but displeasure, Sinclair. Past the sinners, who all appeared rather exhausted from certain non-fatigue-related issues, I saw a shuddering figure. That one must be the leader of this church. Otis, remember, this is a capture mission. Of course, executive manager. I know an exceptional technique by which I can 100% ensure the survival of the subject, possible defense wounds notwithstanding. Please, leave us alone. Stay away. Just as Otis had begun approaching the leader, her face contorting into a terrifying expression. Oh, wow. 13 of you, hmm? Why, those friends must have spent quite a fortune hiring you all. Oh, there was a flash of light, and in that blink of an eye, someone had kicked Otis to the side and embraced the leader in their arms. Ah, could you be the person my father always talked about? Hmm? I guess. Fie! I cannot well see whom this figure is. Yet, such power has to be... Sorry, friends. I do appreciate your welcome, but I'm going to have to leave with this friend over here instead. Make way for us, will you? Absolutely not! Otis aggressively strides toward the shadowy intruder. The details were fuzzy and shadowed, but I was pretty sure that this figure was holding a massive scythe. Oh, what a grand welcome. Wow, I'm about to shed a tear. Well then. The intruder begins to raise his scythe, his voice untainted by even a tinge of battle anxiety. And we found ourselves back at the corridors. It seems that this is where this scenario ends. Damn it! What indignity! Nay, young Otis, 'tis not to be humiliated of. While I am not entirely confident of this speculation, for I was availed of naught else save for the silhouette, that strength, that composure. Forsooth, the silhouette of this foe. I have borne witness to this magnificence in the past in the magazines. A color. Thou hast almost engaged in a duel with a color fixer. Recovering your memories clearly hasn't diminished your love of fixers one bit, huh? Silence! 'Tis irrelevant! Anyhow, young Faust, thou hast said as such in the past that a repeated visit would be to our benefit as long as this night is in effect. Forsooth? Forsooth? Indeed. Well, should I be granted the chance to behold the countenance of this figure, it should be of no trouble for I to determine which of the illustrious color fixers this one is with greater certainty. May I, perchance, be granted the opportunity to approach this figure in young Otis's stead? There is no reason to deny that request, though I am of the belief that the identity of this individual will not be revealed, regardless of the choices we make in this scenario. Woohoo! Don Quixote's just as passionate as ever, huh? But Faust's expression maintains its stony coldness, highlighting the contrast. It seems like she was deep in contemplation. So I sought to ask, is something on your mind, Faust? If the scenario hypothesis is correct, perhaps the conclusion we have just seen may be a hint of sorts. A hint? Perhaps the overt contrivance of this conclusion implies a tacit threat or a warning posed against us that the tale may be forced to continue regardless of our own actions. There may be an incident in the future in which LCB's journey comes to an untimely halt due to our failure to find the conclusion in a Walpurgis Night event. It appears the access to that information is still locked. I'm having some trouble following your train of thought. It is all right. When the time comes, Dante, it may be the case that your intuition will bring proof to these hypotheses, as it is today. Yeah. However, it seems that verifying Don Quixote's hypothesis takes precedence for the moment. Manager Esquire! Prithee, move with haste now! Haste, I say! Can we have a second before we... Watching Don Quixote's enthusiasm, I decided to table the more complicated thoughts for later, like I always do. Faust is right. It might do as well for me to have some more faith in my own intuitions for now. And that would be that. $18 out of 30. Does that mean... Oh, I could do the hard difficulty. Interesting. Okay. Or at least it lets me select it. Alright, here we go. Intervallo 5, Part 1. Interesting background. Data collection. Now I can get extra currencies. know he's not really gonna fit in here, but I want that 60%. Still 6. Okay. Alright, this is what we'll do. Oh, I forgot to look. Dang it. Oh well. I look from beyond the glass window as the sinners battle furiously inside the large indoor arena. You damned imbeciles! What's the point of everyone rushing at the same enemy that's already staggered and nearly dead? Wait, we're inside. Oh, wait, well, it does say LCB. So yeah, we're inside Limbus Company. Faust had attacked that entity first. The blame lies flatly with the others' delayed decisions. So are we in the headquarters then? Or is this like a branch office for Limbus? Since we're not, you know, anywhere else, it seems. Apologies. Yet concerned was I that to not dispose swiftly of that foe would. I think this is a great show of teamwork. I had no idea how hopeless the sinners were in battle without my command. Damn it! Why won't any of you listen to my orders? Oi! Your genius order was how the lass's head ended up dangling from 1/4 of a neck. It was a necessary sacrifice to gain an edge in battle. Worry thee not. How befitting of a hero it is to perish in place of her compatriot. Aw, Donkey. Don Quixote falls before the merciless onslaught of enemies. I had so many things I wanted to say to them, most of which were variations of, "You're doing it wrong," but I had no choice but to watch as their woefully abysmal decisions continued to bungle the fight. If I tried, this researcher next to me will get in my way, claiming that they haven't finished collecting the data. This one's reaction speed to emergencies is exceptionally fast. So, can I help them now? Will you stop pacing and compose yourself? We're almost done here. That should be more than enough data. Take control, manager. I had a lot I wanted to say, but let's help the sinners out of this bind first. I know I was asking questions, and it's going to explain it to me after this, but it's just like, huh? Where are we? No! Trauma! Great. Dealing with these guys, huh? Let's see. Where's Ryoshu? Ryoshu will go there. Let's see. I'm what more so over here. Interesting. Oh, wait. Maybe if I flip it. Yeah, if I flip it. So Marceau can attack. And then switch her over here so she takes the. There we go. That's what I want. Perfect. Oh!
이 순간이 닿도록 베어내리라.
I'll she gotta be on that one too. Go there. Oh, interesting. You two are going very fast. Wait. That way, and then wait, what? Oh, alright, whatever.
그대는 어디까지 가고 있을지.
이 순간이 닿도록 베어내리라.
Ooh. Well, he's gone.
당신을 소재로 써보고 싶습니다.
Alright, so perfect poise, burn and bleed on the target. It's got none. Let me go after that. We'll have Honglu. Where is he? Oh, he glowing. Let's go.
어디에서도 볼
이
수 없을
순간이
색채로
닿도록 베어내리라. 낮도 밤도 지워 손이 닿도록 베어낼 것.
들리세요? 한 쌍을 상황볼과 24개의 늑골이 자아내는 티비아의 멜로디가 예술적이네요.
Down to just the one. He's not gonna last long. It's not gonna matter. Oh, maybe it does.
감상은
이
어떤가요?
순간이 닿도록 베어내리라.
All done. With first round. Alright, now how did we get here? That went well. As expected of our executive manager, the exceptional development of your strategic genius reminds me of the earlier years of my career. Uh-huh. Thanks. Got
여기 간식은 없어?
anything to snack on, guys? I'm starving here after that brawl.
테스트 중에는
You will maintain an empty stomach for the duration of the tests.
다음 테스트는
Next on the docket is... I would have asked Marceau for a massage if I knew this was coming. Whose idea was this anyway? Well, if you really want to get into it, we could trace this right back to your vacation request, Gregor. Not that this would have happened without that, but yeah. Oh, come on, fellas. There's gotta be more to it than that. Sure there was. Not that it would have made any difference. Because like Ishmael said, this all began with Gregor's particularly egregious stretching. Explanation time. What the? Wow, that sound just now. I didn't know a human body can make a sound like that. Oh, I was just doing some stretches. Can't seem to do them without making these noises nowadays. I know what you mean, Gregor. Huh? What do you mean you can't? That right there is the creaking sound of time's ravages sink. Oof, I know Dante's been turning the clock to rewind our time, but I feel like my joints are starting to grate. I know what you mean. I definitely don't feel as spry as I used to. Maybe the pain from repeatedly dying and reviving takes a toll after all. Yeah, dying sure is a pain. Thank you, Dante. That's when Honglu flippantly threw out an innocent comment amidst the complaining sinners. Speaking of which, isn't it funny how Don Quixote is totally fine even though she's hundreds of years old? She's gotta be the oldest of us by a lot, right? Honglu's unprompted catapulting of such a heavy subject brought the busy air inside the bus to a sudden, stifling halt. I thought we were going to take some time to actually broach that subject, but you just bulldozed through the whole mess, huh? I must have made things awkward. I didn't realize everyone was so sensitive about their age. That's, 'tis not to concern thyself with. Be not so... Of course, there was also someone who could not care less about the bus's air quality. Oi, Scoot! That's my designated seat you're planting your arse in. I'll whack you. On the other hand, here's this guy without a care in the world. Almost makes you wonder if he even remembers what just happened. Well, maybe this is your chance to get back at him for treating you harshly? Don Quixote, I'm sure you can... Sink? I've never seen your eyes sparkle like that before. I am quite fond of the current temperament of our company. Unless young Heathcliff here suddenly morphs into a villainous scoundrel, I have nary a wish to exact violence upon him and... Right, now that that's over with, let's all shut up and keep the chinwag to a minimum, yeah? I like when he just really gets British on us. Chinwag. Seems plenty villainously dickish to me. Anyways, am I the only one thinking it's about time we got the thing? The thing? Well, you know, the thing that we tried a while ago, but we didn't get to enjoy due to some unforeseen issues? Deathmatch. Not that. Don't you remember? We even played volleyball by that big body of water. Contextual clues suggest that he is making a request for a vacation. Yep, absolutely, yep. Let's all go to a spa or something. Relax, get massages to loosen up our muscles some, please. You still have expectations for our employers? Aha! I recall that young Merceau had given thee quite the exquisite massage, has he not? I have an astute knowledge of the major muscle groups and nerve structures of the human body. For many weeks following that massage, my body was deprived of any sensory stimulation. Thus, understood it was, the philosophy of Marceau's physical therapy, that the most infallible methodology of convalescence from pain is to remove any and all stimulation, including that of pain. It seems that the time is here. Virgilius? Yes. I knew that this day would eventually come. The day's here. Why is everyone acting so serious all of a sudden? Rodian's observation is correct. While turning the clock does indeed turn the time, a certain degree of exacerbating fatigue cannot be alleviated. This necessitates that we employ a certain measure to verify the status of each sinner. What could it possibly be that it needs this much build-up? In other words, it is time for Limbus Company's dramatic gulping noise. Regular checkup. Regular checkup? We did get a call from the higher-ups a while ago, requesting that we send the sinners in for a regular checkup. But it was repeatedly delayed due to several limiting circumstances on our end. They've been obnoxiously hounding us for quite some time. I was starting to get tired of explaining our absence. Checkup? What checkup? Don't be so on edge, Heathcliff. Such proceedings are regular occurrences at most corporations. I've never personally experienced it myself, but sounds like they're just checking to see how we're doing health-wise. I turn around, getting ready to say, "Right, Ishmael?" Only to come face to face with Ishmael's shocked expression, frozen onto her face. Well, this is unexpected. I thought Ishmael, with her worldly experiences, would leap onto this opportunity to lecture us all about how things worked outside Limbus Company. Regular checkups are... Oh, you gearing up to explain what it is? Coolio. Yeah, got 30 seconds to wrap it up. Ready, set, go! No. Not the regular checkup. Miss Ishmael's expression seems to suggest otherwise, Miss Rhodia. I did hear that some fixer offices or associations employ varying methodologies when it comes to regular checkups, depending on their characteristics. Locked up until there's only one left standing. Locked. Blood of my colleagues, the only key to escape. What kind of checkup does she have to go through? Ishmael wasn't the only one responding with a pale-faced, abject horror at the suggestion. Do you even understand what kind of regular checkup you're getting into? I'm asking if you're prepared to go through the regular checkup, no matter what happens in the process. Are you prepared to endure through everything that... What's wrong with this bloke now? Mate's looking all pale. I don't understand why everyone's making such a big deal out of this. I don't think it's that bad. I think we used to have annual health checkups back in school, too. What kind of checkups? They put us all in the same room, measuring heights, weights, running some basic fitness tests. Pretty? Wherefore do they seek the measures of such characteristics? Must you really ask? A full knowledge and analysis of each soldier's status is indispensable intelligence for officers to have on hand. What soldiers? I was talking about my school. Right, so that don't explain shite about why you need to know that, does it? Why'd they find it necessary to spray people with those stinking chemicals just to see if someone's got lice in their clothes? Huh? Heathcliff. He must have gone through his share of rough checkups too as a kid, I guess. Y'all keep asking questions with the most obvious answers. In fact, I've been wondering when they'd test us. Otis confidently marched up to the front of the other sinners with an assertive grin, as though she'd been waiting for this very moment. The true purpose of this checkup must be to elect a true authority amongst us. A true authority? By your parlance, true authority. Could it be that you are questioning whom among us is our leader? But I'm standing right here? I humbly request that you avoid plaguing yourself with any unnecessary misunderstandings about my suggestion, Executive Manager. Of course, I must preface this with the declaration that there cannot be an iota of doubt toward Executive Manager Dante's authority. Okay. But was this not always a topic of great contention among us? That which of us is most fit to command this squad of sinners? Isn't it Ishmael? Or maybe Faust? That's what I thought too. This lack of cohesion is precisely why we always fail to face our enemies as a team. Always scrambling, always underprepared, always taken by surprise. You must always be ready to drop to the ground and give 500 push-ups whenever your superior commands you to do so. Always maintain the willingness to sacrifice your well-being and life for the sake of the glorious victory of your allies. It's all missing. Where is your readiness for self-sacrifice? No one's arguing with you, Otis. Who are you even talking to? So, to summarize, the regular checkup entails putting us all in a small room and making us fight to the last sinner standing. Silence fell upon us at Hung Lu's succinct summary. Battle Royale. I've been looking forward to this. Fuck it. I'll give you lot one hell of a fight. My fists used to be bloody infamous in the back streets. Fine. So that's how we're doing this, huh? I'm ready to roll. Guys, this isn't... Okay. So, where are we off to? The battle... excuse me. The regular checkup takes place at... The sinners seem to be under some serious misunderstanding about what the regular checkup entailed, but Faust had obviously long given up on correcting them. The headquarters. The headquarters you speak of must be the headquarters of Limbus Company. Yes. Oh, we're finally getting to visit the headquarters, huh? A whole year after they hired us. We should be right on time upon immediate departure. This instant, thou sayest? Yet mine heart is being prepared. Prithee, allow us some time to prepare our travel provisions. Ugh. Where's the HQ anyway? Hopefully it's not too far from here. That is a secret. However, I would like to inform you that it exists in a location inaccessible via Mephistopheles. Oh, come on. How are we supposed to get there if you're not going to tell us where it is? Inaccessible via Mephistopheles? You're not about to suggest that we board the warp trains again, are you? Fie! I shan't ever board the warp trains again. Indeed, we will not be boarding a warp train for this journey. So are we taking the back doors or something? Limbusing? Yeah, good point. Let's take them doors instead. A sound suggestion. However, in lieu of sufficient information regarding each door, the destination may hold an element of randomness. Or, due to the variable nature of its activation period, the resultant destination may not reflect our intended end coordinates. Or, an unexpected closure mid-passage through the frame may behoove us to bid the company our last farewells and embark on a timely journey of no return. Are you sure this is a sound suggestion? Then I'd rather take that bloody train instead. At least we won't remember what happened once it's over and done with. Battle Royale. So, further research was necessary to ensure safe transportation to the intended destinations. Further research? Are you implying that you made modifications to the back door? A close assessment. However, it would be more accurate to say that the back door was merely used as a reference. How did you even make the time for research? Weren't you doing everything with us the whole time? LCA and Faust established multiple communications with a certain new wing aspirant company during the spare hours between our travels to garner multiple cooperation efforts regarding the stabilization of the back door. A new wing? Are they looking to take over L-Corp's vacancy or something? Quite sharp, Gregor. But the direction of your intuition could be improved. It is a company seeking to seize the imminent vacancy of the ever-declining W Corp. W Corp. Is that so? Yeah, that makes sense. Stories of W Corp's decline have been spreading more and more as of late. And I'm not surprised that some companies consider this to be an opportunity. Newspapers also feature op-eds regarding a possible management crisis at W Corp, with many of them discussing the mysterious disappearances as well. What do we know about W Corp? Is W Corp the one behind the warp trains? I see. So they've been furtively planning and preparing to take over W Corp's position as a wing. But to supplant a wing even before it falls on its own? Now that's certainly peculiar. They run the warp trains? Okay, thank you. They must have something, a scheme, perhaps, in the works. And to ally with such ambitious parties is the headquarters looking to start a war of the wings? I, at this moment, am not privy to such details. Miss Otis, we need to make predictions in such rashness. Recall that W Corp has been mired in troubles both internal and external, haven't fallen to such a desperation as to seek the assistance of our company. It is no wild presumption to predict that it shall crumble ere the advent of such violent pandemonium. For indeed, inefficiency is the bane of technology that brings ruination to those that fail to overcome it. Our research efforts, however, were quite efficient and successful. Its mechanisms are similar to that of the back door, but it eliminates the corridor, instead establishing a direct connection from one door to another. A portal, if you will. Oh, so you resolved all the aforementioned side effects then? Not quite. Similar difficulties to the aforementioned cases were observed. Sometimes the accuracy of the target destination coordinates were lacking, or, in other cases, the activation period would be cut short, causing the door to shut prematurely and amputate the subject as they were traversing between doors. There has been much progress in stabilization efforts, however, minimizing pentasection incidents. Most recent incidents have been limited to bisections. Bisection certainly is an improvement over pentasection. See, Ising smile. They both sound equally awful to me. Yeah, they're not good. I would not behold mine own left or my shoes so cruelly sundered, forced to be so far apart upon our coming to the headquarters. Oh well. All this idle chatter of unnecessary concerns tells me that your bus life may have been too uneventful lately. Looks like the research arrived while you were wasting time. I saw a large and unfamiliar vehicle through the window. Is that the vehicle? It's got no windows, though. How tiresome. Now, off the bus. Check up. The vehicle. Once we disembarked the bus, we made our way into this unfamiliar vehicle of sorts. Its interior was mostly metallic, filled to the brim with convoluted-looking machines, and on the opposite end of the entrance, a massive door loomed over us. This is... Assistance from P Corp in the process of developing this device was indispensable. Wait, that means in cohorts with young Cicera, are you? Hode! Much did I aspire to regale her with a tale of the contract's glorious completion, of mine heroism and bravery. 'Tis quite unfair of thee to meet her all by thy lonesome young Faust. I like how she's calling everyone young ever since the end of 7. Because she is the oldest one. Your concerns will be taken into account next time. Faust seemed relieved. Ah! Worry thee not, for thou hast availed us the sight of Limbus company headquarters. Thy tit hath been tatted for. What the fuck? Die! There are numerous reasons for which you were yet to be allowed into the headquarters, but as it would be a fruitless effort to explicate them all, we will not cover that subject here. I'm glad to hear we're not sitting through another lecture. The primary reason is, however, that there were several limitations to bringing the members of our department to the headquarters brought upon by frequent transnest movements and irregular scheduling of our missions. Why'd you say all that if you were going to explain anyway? Wait, more importantly, what's that about collaborating with P Corp? Boy, here we go again. P Corp's singularity can be summarized by the following 4 words. Expansive space warping technology. Oh, right. Didn't you say that Miss Cicera told you something about how the principle of P Corp's singularity is a lot like how La Mancha Land works? Right. La Mancha Land was much larger on the inside than it looked from the outside. Oh, yeah. I've been meaning to ask. Don't other wings already make liberal use of different kinds of space-expanding singularities? How should I put this? Isn't it a bit too mundane of a city tech for P Corp to call space manipulation its unique thing? That was quite the intelligent question. Compliments! How nice. Ishmael is correct in suggesting that technology to expand a given space is a commonly employed technology by other wings as well. An example of one such invention making use of the space expansion technology but isn't a P Corp singularity would be Mephistopheles. The ultimate purpose of P Corp's space expansion technology is to create the safest place in the world. A perfectly protected construct, its interior sheltered from the world outside, no matter how severely its exterior is battered. To have a sound structural integrity no matter what, its interior is safe from any and all harm. Therefore, the more expensive the P Corp product is, the safer its interior is from damaging outside conditions, such as extreme pressure or shock. Perhaps the way in which the interior is completely insulated from the outside is comparable to a full disconnect from the outside world by sheltering in a separate dimension. In conclusion, the exterior of this vehicle utilized P Corp's singularity, which means that it can protect its interior from all forms of impact. Not to mention that it has enough room to hold more than 13 people inside. Don't dimensional trunks or containers also transport things to other dimensions? Sounds impossible to achieve. Why are you freezing up all of a sudden? There was this creepy story that used to circulate among kids back when I was in school. Here's how it goes. So a Deviates Association employee makes a delivery to a house, then looks away for a second. And a curious kid crawls into their courier trunk and... I'm gonna stop the story here. Look, that story kept me up at night for a whole week, okay? I couldn't stop having nightmares about that scenario where... Hey, come on. Sometimes a story is just a story. Not necessarily. Unfortunately, the story that inspired Sinclair's week-long nightmares was most likely an accurate retelling of a true story. Several regulations were added to Hana and Deviat's association's rules to prevent cases of people being stored in dimensional containers. From a certain perspective, it may be said that the warp technology employed by W Corp shares a degree of similitude. The parallel lies in the fact that it also transports humans to a different dimension, the difference being that they are packaged in a safer manner. Therefore, perhaps enough of a connection exists to say that they operate on the same scale. Anywho, the point is that we'll always have access to the headquarters as long as we have this vehicle thing, right? This will certainly make the logistics of communication and supply much more convenient. One question, however, how does the company plan to move this instrument, as I expect that would be much trouble on its own? Has that detail been hashed out yet? No. In order to establish a more tangible level of communication with Limbus Company headquarters, an effective means of transportation such as this vehicle will be installed in the nests across the city. In summary, an efficient means of transportation such as this vehicle here, developed using P Corp and the aspirant W Corp's technology, will gradually be installed at various points across the city. In every nest? Of course not. Technology is still experimental. It is astronomically expensive to install and operate. Virgilius gave us a firm clarification. Activating now. Faust tinkers with various machines and contraptions within the vehicle, and the giant door from earlier began to tremble, making a loud noise. Wherefore is that gate over yonder shuddering so? Energies, now linked, are routing toward that gate. When the gauge displays around the glowing door filled, the door began to slowly open. Entering now. When it fully opened, Faust made her way inside like it was just another door. Well, let's follow her inside. There was a bizarre and incomprehensible noise of machines, coupled with a low droning noise. Yes, we have arrived. Welcome to the Limbus Company headquarters. This place is teeming with people dressed in all sorts of odd outfits, walking briskly between their busy schedules. I hear heavy doors opening and closing from here and there, alongside that odd sensation I've been feeling from time to time. It's the floor of the LCE department. LCE? Hopefully we'll get to proudly stride in through HQ's front gate one day. Hohenheim! I see. All right. Give me more currency. Thank you. Okay.
반드시 팬다. 아비들도 거미집도.
Right! Are we waiting for something to happen? Or are we all suddenly unfamiliar with the concept of introducing ourselves? Given that no one appears to be willing to introduce me, allow me the liberty of self-introduction. My name is Hohenheim, the chief researcher of this company. To be precise, he is the chief researcher of the LCE department. To be more precise, I am the chief researcher responsible for the entirety of Limbus Company. To be even more precise, the only reason he retains that role is because Yiseng and I have been excluded from the research personnel files due to our statuses as sinners. Someone must stay behind to continue the research, after all. Aha! So you two are friends. He doesn't get paid enough. While it seems entirely unnecessary to establish a label on this relationship, it could be said that we are acquaintances who are routinely and unwillingly who routinely and unwillingly maintain a regular level of communication with one another. It's kind of a rare reaction from Faust here. I'm in agreement. For the first time since we were acquainted. I hear that our department has reached out several times to yours to remind you of this regular checkup. The nature of the LCB department necessitates that we are constantly on the move from one nest to another, which makes it rather difficult for us to give you an immediate reply. I would have expected someone like you to already be well aware of this obvious detail. Yes, I was very well aware. I am also quite aware of the fact that your department has been giving us that same reply over and over again like an answering machine. And this must be Dante, the executive manager of the Limbus company Sinners. I'd like to say, hi, nice to meet you, but I don't suppose you can hear what I'm saying. The manager extends their greetings. Charmed. It is a grueling and arduous work to be in a position of leadership, especially when communication issues come into play. The passive aggressiveness between these two is already hilarious to me. Sometimes I cannot help but wonder if my researchers and I are even speaking the same language, so I do commiserate. How odd. Their clothes are... Ah, yes. Allow me to introduce you all to Martin and Alyssa, two of the few researchers directly in my command. Are they wearing gear extracted from abnormalities? But how? Happy to have someone who recognizes them. Are they like gears scavenged from the former L Corp? While there are partial similarities to their gears, enough differences are present to distinguish them. Indeed, we attempted our own brand of extractions. Successfully, I might add. While the news of the production of Ego Gear in Limbus Company's style was already received, this is the very first time they are observed in person. So, you must have abnormalities contained in this facility? So that's why I've been sensing abnormalities in here, huh? But I'm sensing distortions and Pecatula too. Indeed. As they are containment and research subjects for the LCE department as well. Faust closely observed the ego gear Hohenheim was wearing like an exceptionally harsh judge in a fashion contest. Apart from a few imperfections in the finish, the level of ego extraction visible here is quite acceptable. Input appreciated. This is a product of thousands of repeated experiments and subsequent failures that have been meticulously conducted and studied in order to extract it with an acceptable level of stability. But at the end of the day, I did it, like I always do. You did it? Are you sure you want to take all the credit when your team is standing right behind you? We're used to it. Oh, piss off. Going mad surrounded by these self-absorbed twats. I'm just about ready to get violent on some poor bastard. Let's get on with the checkup so we can get back to the bus, yeah? I feel the very same urgency you express. There is much we must cover, regrettably, given that this is the first ever regular checkup performed as a group since your employment. Faust also does not wish to pass more time without substance. Let us begin. Very well. Our first task shall be to assess your abilities in response to emergency situations. Wait, he just pressed something. Emergency situations. The walls of the laboratory suddenly started separating and sliding into place. When it settled, I realized that it had locked the sinners away in some kind of hold, isolating them from me, Virgilius and Karen. What the hell? This is just an ambush! Yes, it is. The purpose of this test is to measure your behaviors in response in case of a surprise attack. So ambush it is. Was this discussed beforehand, Virgilius? You look anxious, Dante. Well, I suppose you weren't let in on this either. I wasn't, for your information. Just go with their flow, Dante. So it goes would be an apt response. I'll find a room somewhere where Karen and I might sit down and enjoy some nice tea. Come find me with Faust once this is over. He's so unbothered. Karen wants cake too. Oh, hey, we've got some leftover cake from our last office party. Come this way, please. An employee appeared and led Virgilius and Karen away into a nearby office room. Okay, so this is a regular checkup, huh? Let's get this done. Oh, this is interesting.
관리자가 유사시 격리되었을 때를 상정한 평가일세.
Got beat up, Sean. Pecatula. Let's see. Should just counter. These two are gonna be going here. Where did I put take that, and I'll have Faust take that one. So we'll do it that way. She's gonna get hits regardless. Should be okay.
이 순간이 닿도록 베어내리라.
All right. Okay, so they're both on this one. Which means I'll have 30M or so. Focus on this one. Don't want to do that.
그대는 어디까지 각오했을지. 여기 심장이.
Goodbye.
마지막으로 남길 말. 아비 교환.
이 시계 소리 또한 끊어지겠지.
Stop.
이 시계 소리 또한 끊어지겠지.
I hate it when it does that shit to me. Okay, I'll be right back. Once I hit start.
예술적이네요.
I'm back. Okay, let's see here. Like that and like that. There you go. They're getting decimated.
기회라는 소재를 통달한다면
이 순간이 닿아도록 베어내리라. 원망도 옅어지나.
Okay, just do this and then.
그려낸 대로
고백의 심장이 잠깐 저릿했기에.
Oh, okay, this is the last wave. These two are both gonna go here. Got a focus target, doesn't it? No. Oh, it's got a speed of 5. Unexpected. Gonna go there. These two go here. You can go there.
소바주
어중간한 예술은 물어뜯어 고칠 수밖에.
퇴장 시간이 되었답니다.
질투 죄종까지 지휘 없이 진행하면 어렵겠고.
항상 저의
이제
영감을 일깨워 주시는군요.
Thank you, Honglu. We went through various tests, including command ability trials using Pecatula Invidiae. Hark! Manager Esquire! Hi-ho! I have attained a score most perfect! To be surpassed by Miss Don Quixote in a contest of knowledge, must I delve further in my studies? Hey, Yiseng, Bud. They were just testing our Fixer Association knowledge, huh?
맞아.
Holy. Honestly, she's got more than enough Fixer fixation for the entire bus. All kinds of general knowledge, trivia
새로운
quizzes.
사람을 만났을 때 어떤 걸 먼저 주목하시나요?
What's the first thing you focus on when meeting a new person? The look in their eyes? How strong they look? Bloody hell, this ain't easy. Your leadership style is
결정적이고
strong,
목표
decisive,
지향적이다.
and goal-oriented.
메르소 씨가
You are, Marcel? We were finally allowed a quick break after going through all kinds of mysterious, strange personality tests as well.
다음은 수감자 전원의
Next,
기초 체력
basic fitness
검진이다.
test for all sinners.
이제야
We can
본격적인
finally get
검진을
started on the real
시작할 수
meat
있다.
of this checkup. Wait, then what were all those tests you guys were running on us? They were conducted in order to collect various data the LCE department has been missing.
일종의 사심체
In other
의식하는
words, we capitalized on this opportunity to fulfill our private curiosities. Still, I'd say it was very productive. We now know a lot about you guys that'll help us support the LCB going forward. Alright, we're gonna go over some tests that can be conducted in groups first. Please form a line here. What?
이렇게
Like this?
서 있으면 되는 건가?
Done.
남은 게 많아 보이니까
Let's get this
빨리빨리
over
하자.
with. Looks like we've got a long day ahead of us.
그래도 나눠주신
Wow,
이런
these are some
말이에요.
comfy clothes they've given
착용감이
us.
굉장히 좋네요.
You guys look like you're in your usual outfits. Oh wait, no. He's like wearing a hoodie. They're in hoodies! Right? I could totally see myself wearing these to sleep. To sleep? They're LCE properties, so you better return them as soon as we're done here. Gotcha. By the way, can you take a look at my wrist here before we actually get started? I've been feeling a bit of soreness there, but Dante won't turn the clock for just me, you know?
그런 걸로 시계를
Turning of the clock for such trivialities may cause the formation of an unfavorable habit.
외르소군이 봐줄
Perhaps
수 있을
Marceau
거야.
can remedy your pain.
뭐든
He's saying,
언제든지
I am
준비는
always
되어
prepared to administer necessary aid, should you request it. Actually, you know what? I'm totally fine now. Don't you worry.
똑바로 서주세요.
Please stand still. If you think I can't see some of you on your tiptoes, you'd be very wrong. Heels on the ground, please. But
저는
my heels are on the ground? He's got little cheeky lights. Fie!
그리고 저
And, can you snuff out your cigarettes before the test begins?
꺼주실 수 있나요?
Oh,
아,
this one isn't lit. It's just there so I can
폼으로 물고
look
있는 거야?
cool.
아,
Uh-huh.
어,
And what about
용기는
bold, but scram?
거.
일단
Okay.
단체 기초 검사
So, the basic
끝났습니다.
group tests are complete.
검진을 실행하기
I
전에
seem to have forgotten
그
something
필
quite
테스트를
important I had to
중요한
establish
걸 한
prior
가지
to
빼먹었네.
beginning the tests in earnest.
조수.
I need an assistant. An assistant?
테스트를 원활하게
I
이끄는
need
걸
an
도와줄
assistant to
조수가
help me smooth
필요하다.
out the testing procedures.
그거라면 자기 뒤에도
You got
있지
two of
않나?
them already.
두 명이나.
Right behind you if you need directions.
저희는 호연님
Oh,
씨의 조수가
we're not
아닙니다.
Mr. Hohenheim's
우주
assistants.
연구원이죠.
We're specifically assistant researchers.
그래. 그
Yes,
둘의
of
차이는
course.
굉장히 크지.
There is much that distinguishes these two occupations.
검진을 도와줄
I would
조수를
like for one of you to be my assistant for the duration of this checkup. Rhodia suddenly raised her hand.
차원을 받을 생각은
I wasn't
없었지만
planning on asking
일단
for
손을
volunteers,
들었으니
but
말해보게.
now that you've raised your hand, I'll give you the floor.
나는 시키지
Don't ask me to
말아줘.
do it.
이런 건
It's just not my
적성이 안
vibes, you
맞아서.
know? I'll take a researcher job, though. I'm a big fan of her
연구할
style.
생각만 하겠는데?
Rhodia trailed off, greedily caressing the clothes of one of the researchers.
왜
What-
이러세요?
What are you doing? I didn't really have you in mind anyway, but duly noted nonetheless.
저도
I would also like to refuse your nomination.
통상적으로
The position of an assistant to Hohenheim implies that the said assistant is, when it comes to skill, inferior to the person they are assisting.
역시나 뽑아줄
Again,
사람은
I didn't
생각도
have you in
없지만
mind either, but
열렬한 의사인
your
역시
passionate
감사를
expression of
표하지.
intent is nonetheless appreciated. I wonder who came up with this brilliant idea of putting two smartasses together to waste time pointing out each other's minor mistakes.
저는
I already talked about myself. I want to open by saying that I was a class vice president in school, a diligent model student who assiduously facilitated the task of the class president and what's with everyone getting so anxious to get picked here? Do you fellas actually want to be his assistant? Getting in the front and center of things is just bothersome, you know?
하지만
I kind of felt like I had to apply for the position for some reason.
자, 결정은
Well, the decision has already been
참고로
made.
모든 판단 기준은
Do note that the selection criteria is fully based on my very subjective opinion.
거기 주황머리 수감자.
You there, orange-haired sinner. Ishmael almost threw me to the ground as she confidently strode up to the front of the line.
안심하세요, 호엔하임 씨.
Greetings, Mr. Hohenheim. As you must be aware, you've taken a look at my documents. I rarely let anyone down during my various tenures at offices and associations. You'll have nothing to worry as long as I'm by your side.
혹시
Also, can I add this experience to my resume if I ever get a chance to submit a transfer request to work at the headquarters? Didn't know you were still holding on to that hope. I
주황머리
called on you to
수감자
ask you to
뒤에 있는
move
수감자를
because
말하는
you were
걸까?
standing in front of the center I
자네가 너무
chose.
앞에 나와 있어서 보이질 않았거든.
I kind of feel bad for Ishmael now, but, you know, everyone turned around to look at Heathcliff, who was absentmindedly scratching at the bridge. Wait, he wants Heathcliff? The hell? At the bridge of his nose. Huh?
너?
Me? Huh?
나?
Me? It seemed that Ishmael was even more shocked than Heathcliff was. Wait, but what?
왜
What?
저를 두고
Why? I'm right here. Why would you pick someone like...
대부분의 연구자는
It is a common
종종 그런
misconception
실수를
among many
범하곤 하지.
researchers To assume that the higher their level of education and the more elaborate their resume, the better the candidate one makes for a research project participant. But that's just common sense, isn't it? At least when it comes to research? However, were you aware that most great discoveries are made from a potent mix of spontaneity and intuition? A perfect descriptor for our friend here, I would say. What say you, Heathcliff? I believe that this aggressive and passionate approach of yours gives you more than sufficient qualification to command and lead them in my stead. Is that right? He replied, scratching his head. Be honest now, he's saying. Yeah, we're kind of looking forward to getting picked, weren't you? It is but fate that things that were once good in the eyes of the mainstream are to be made less desirable with the passage of time. And when one does indeed fall out of favor, the intelligentsia of the bygone days must rightly excuse themselves to the realm of memories and past. Yising replied with a particularly downcast look. Aww! I'm glad to have you on board as my new assistant. Righty-ho! So, what have I got to do now? Nothing too complicated. You only need to liberally express your free spirit, just as you are now. Aha! Now I see what he's doing. Hohenheim sure knows which one of the group to coax to make things go over smoothly. Martin whispered quietly at me in a voice that only I could hear. Aha!
약지에 감긴 세 바퀴의 반지는 마에스트로가 되기 위해 인정받은 세 가지 작품을 뜻하죠. 비록
Oh
지금
boy.
제 작품이 만인의 신금을 울리지는 못.
Hey, I like these outfits. Heathcliff seemed eager to, as Hohenheim has suggested, express his free spirit to the best of his capabilities. Right, you there! Get in line! Single file, lads! Let's make this easy for all of us. Aren't you also participating in the test with the rest of us, Heathcliff? Yeah, but I'm the assistant.
언제부터 안경을 쓰고 계셨던 거예요?
Since when do you wear glasses? Glasses are basic apparatuses of all researchers. Look, slightly pushing up in the glasses helps to put on the air of a studious, learned individual, like so. Just like how slightly pushing up the frames of my glasses while wondering what to have for lunch makes it seem as though I am contemplating on the more profound aspects of life. Oi! Let's not make this any harder than it's gotta be, lass. Snuff out that cig in your mouth. Been a while since I heard a pig squeal. Blimey! Can't you just do as I say for once? Huh. He's actually pretty effective. It seems that we are now ready to conduct the tests. Finally. The primary purpose of this test is to see, on a physical level, how your current abilities scale compared to yourselves before your hiring. I see. So they're trying to see how much they progress since before they joined the company. I had a feeling this would happen, but the mere mention of the words progression caused a rather loud ruckus among the sinners. If I were to speak for myself, Executive Manager, I can confidently say that the thought of progressing as a person in all aspects of life is ingrained into my very being. Thus, as a fruit of those efforts, I have grown to be much more precise and scathing in my critique of others' mistakes. Is that progress, though? Perhaps I have learned to let certain thoughts rest in favor of others. I once allowed myself to be trapped in overlong ruminations on worries of all manners, idly abiding as I was consumed by my very thoughts. Man, I get that. Now, I have come to accept certain things as they are. Oh. and have come to sometimes allow my mind to form bereft of rigorous reason, floating away gently as though on a rolling stream. Is that not quite pleasant? Ah, okay. I guess that is progression of sorts.
저는
I'm pretty sure I'm less of a picky eater than I used to be.
편식은 하지 않게 되었어요. 악력도
My
많이
grip
는
strength
것
is
같고.
much stronger too. Oh.
여기
Look, look.
보세요.
I think I'm getting
손바닥에
calluses on my
동영상도 좀
palms.
잡힌 것 같아요.
뭐
Well,
대요 그렇게
you don't really have to
장난으로
try to
하지
prove it
않아도
to us.
저희가 상대하고 있는
Because the
적들이
enemies we're
점점
fighting have been
강해지고
getting
있는 건
stronger
훌륭한
too.
사실입니다.
That's an undeniable truth.
저희의
We did
일련은
experience a
남들의
pretty
일련과는
spectacular
달랐을
year, you know.
잔혹하지만
A brutal year, yet so potent with significance. True. I guess growth really does come with time, huh?
그러게요.
Right?
조금
I
더
feel like the
서로에게
bonds
끈끈해진
between us
것도
got a lot
궁금하죠.
deeper. We've all grown closer too. We've all grown closer, you know? Like glue.
끈끈이라.
Like glue, huh? I like it.
너희네 그거.
A certain misunderstanding seems to be brewing in tandem with this uplifting exchange of heart-to-hearts. Allow me to step in and nip it in the bud.
결론부터 말하자면
Let me give it to you straight.
자네들은 입사
All of your
동시에
abilities were
모든
diminished the moment you were hired by this company. Equally defanged and depowered, if you will. Equally defanged.
쉽게 풀어서 이야기하자면
In other words, all of your abilities have been brought down to the... yes.
11번 수감자가
To the same
어디서
general
있었다는
level
거죠?
as our 11th sinner here.
그 비유의 주체가
Why am I your point of reference?
자네가 방금 말한
If this is what you meant earlier by
11번
growing
거인은
closer like glue, then I
나쁘지
suppose it
않은
was
단어
quite the apt
선택이었던
choice of
거고.
words.
야, 배트맨
Oi!
취소해.
Take that back!
취소.
I take it back.
라고 하기엔
Not!
클리프 씨가
So,
결국
you're not really that much stronger than I am, huh?
수준이라는 거네요.
우와, 방금
Experiencing
우리
each other's
싱크대
traumas
걷다가
to bring a group
부서지는
together,
소리가
right?
들리는데?
Wow, Sync. Is that the sound of your sense of self-preservation shattering to the ether? That's it, you bloody...
잠깐
Excuse me.
이거 좀 물어봐야겠어.
I need to know why that happened.
하양 평준화가
Did we all
되는
get depowered because of the golden
황금바지
bow?
때문인가요?
Wait, does this have anything to do with those change that appeared when we first entered into a contract with Dante?
맞아.
Indeed.
황금가지가 가진
One of the
힘 중에
powers of golden
이어지는
bow
힘.
is connection.
평등하게,
You
균등하게,
are now all fairly, evenly, and equally
그리고
mediocre.
고만고만하게.
Hohenheim's comment and the subsequent stare seemed a bit targeted.
로보토미 코퍼레이션에서
Think of it as
사용했던
something
그
akin to
척지력과
cloth deterrence
비슷한
employed by the
기억이라고
Lobotomy
보고 있지.
Corporation.
밝혀지게 되어 다행이다.
So, the truth is finally revealed. This was why I, Otis, grew so pathetically weak the moment I joined this company.
알고 있었다는
Art
것인가?
thou implying that thou hast always known?
그래.
Of course!
본래 같았다면
Had I been in my
나는
prime, I
수초
could have
안에
wiped the
너희
floor
천원의
with you
전투
miserable
플랜으로 만들 수
doormats in a
있었음.
matter of seconds. You wipe
우리를
floors
왜
with doormats?
전투 불능으로 만드는 건데요?
나 참.
Man, we're also prone to saying whatever once the burden of proof is gone, huh?
곤란하지.
Ha! So that's why my murderous arms have been quiet ever since they hired me. It didn't really have anything to do with my heart after all.
문제가 아니었던 거구만.
Gregor.
지금
Oi! What's the use of all this chatter? What matters is that we've all been brought down to the level of the lad. But I got calluses on my palms. Oh, Sinclair!
그럼에도
Yet, not all of the Golden Bow's effects must have been of detriment to us.
분명 있어.
These things started, carefully attempting to navigate through a conversation that appeared to be turning into a tinderbox.
호수에서
Was it not the advantages granted to us by the Golden Bow impaled in the pallid whale of the Great Lake by which we triumphed?
뭐야?
What?
그런 거였어?
Really?
맞습니다.
Correct.
그
Had the
참혹한
pallid
거리가
whale been at its
우리의
full
힘을 가지고
strength,
있었다면
it is highly likely that we may still have been
우리의
trapped inside its
뱃속에서
stomach,
사투를 벌이고 있었을지도
struggling to
모르는
survive.
거죠. 또한
Also, it can also be said that the diminishing effect was not applied in equal measure across all affected subjects.
하긴
That makes sense, I guess. I never could have knocked Heath out with one punch if I was only as strong as
그거
Sync.
진짜 편한데.
It's a real handy trick, you know.
말을 계속 이어가지.
Additionally, certain individual quirks cannot be suppressed by the golden bough. Certain quirks that one may consider to be an individual's idiosyncrasies. Oh, so that explains Ryoshu's impressive blade work with Mr. Bumble back at the T-Corp factory. Won't waste my breath. Won't waste my breath boasting. You never do anyway. Well, if your strengths have indeed progressed since the onboarding, then the average must have risen as well. One of the purposes of these tests is to measure that very difference. So, what exactly goes into these tests? I know there's a district that uses a machine that can analyze most aspects of the subject with a quick scan. So is it going to be something like that? There are dozens, if not hundreds, of ways to determine one's abilities without the assistance of machinery. In fact, I know of a perfectly appropriate methodology for this group. A perfectly appropriate methodology? We spent some time out of our busy schedules to tailor each test for each center of the LCB. That was pretty tough, I'll have you guys know. Tailored tests for each center, huh? I don't really like the sound of that, if you ask me. We will utilize the Pekatula and the distortion phenomenon. Huh? That doesn't sound much like some super innovative method you were building up to. Kind of a letdown. Right? Honestly, for all their talk, I thought they'd come up with something more impressive than that. Assistant? Oh, assistant. Alright, that's enough chatter. Now get in there. I love this. It's just Heathcliff wearing them. Alright. Meaningless wrath. I didn't think so. Okay. Oh, hello, Jelly Bean. Let's see. First one on the blocks. Heathcliff had already begun flipping through the papers in his hands. What an unfamiliar sight. Right. You and you there. Inside. Now. Heathcliff, the assistant, pointed toward Hongwu and Sinclair. Hello. 1, 2, testing. Am I coming through? As you must be well aware by now, the Pekatula are entities that have failed to even distort. It seems like we'll be fighting the Pekatula again. Oh, right. I have a question. It's something that's been nagging me the whole time since I arrived. Aren't these tests basically just us killing people for no reason? They're all safely contained, which means that they don't pose any danger to anyone. Why is he being such a bleeding heart all of a sudden? Oi! We've been slaughtering countless scores of those sods, so what's the holdup now? Yeah, but we didn't have any choice back then because we were on a mission. And do you believe that taking a life to live is unlike taking a life for the sake of it? I do. I understand. It seems that human memory is, after all, made to be finite. Save for a few exceptional individuals, people are prone to misplacing memories even from yesterday. So, who are they, Dante? Who do you believe they are, this group you lead? Given the expected communication difficulties between us, allow me to make this a multiple choice question. 1. Family. 2. Friends. 3. Colleagues. I guess they're closest to colleagues? Dante says 3. Colleagues. Hongwu was practically squished against the containment unit window, holding up 3 of his fingers. He must have heard us talking. Incorrect. It's none of the above. The truth is that they are sinners. Not family, not friends, not colleagues. Prisoners. I know.
단순히 알고 있는 것과
Ah,
받아들이고
but the
있는 것은
knowledge of
다른
something
문제라네.
and the acceptance of it must be distinguished.
먹고 살만해지고
I
여유가
learned that
생기지는
people are
순간
prone to forgetting
사람은
their
자신의 정확한
places when the
위치를
going
잊어버리게
gets
되고
easy, when life becomes comfortable
누군가는
enough for
이렇게 한
them to
번씩
consider the
상기시켜줘야
luxury
하지.
of timely meals to be a certainty. Thus, I find these reminders to be quite useful.
림버스 컴퍼니에
These
수감된 자들은
sinners, bound to Limbus
사슬과 족쇄에 여전히
Company,
묶여있지.
are still fettered by their chains and shackles. Naturally, they have no access to such a thing as the right to refuse.
아니면
Or would it be easier for
이렇게
you to
생각하는
accept
게 더
that
나을지도
fact if I were to
모르겠군.
suggest that you consider
또한
this but a mere
임무의
extension of
연장선이라고
your
여기는 게 어떤가?
responsibilities?
그게
I know they're sinners, but you can't talk to them like...
통역해주지 않아도
Ah,
괜찮네.
translations are
분위기를 보니
unnecessary.
대충 알 것 같군.
I think I get the picture of what was said, given the atmosphere of this room.
단테,
Dante,
자네도
when you
어떠한
agreed to
조건
the
없이 이곳과
contract,
계약을
you
맺은
must have
건
made a
아니지
deal
않나?
of sorts to gain something to your benefit. Am I correct?
자네의 기억,
Your memories, your head, and your past.
찾고 싶은 게 많을 거야.
There must be so much that
그래서
you
이
would like to
관리자 직책을
know,
감내하는 것이기도
and perhaps
하고.
your desire to get them back is what stops you from simply quitting.
결론적으로
What I mean to say with this little demonstration is that no one in this room has any right to grumble or refuse. Faust, is he usually...
네.
Yes, this is his
잘했습니다.
usual demeanor.
저기
Hello,
제가
I know
할
I'm not the
말은
one to
아니긴
talk,
하지만
but you don't exactly have a lot of friends, do you?
우등한 사람일수록
Those who
주위에
rise
적이
above
많이
their
생기기
peers tend to
마련이라네.
attract a certain degree of hostility from
그래서 테스트를
others.
시작해볼까?
Now, shall we begin?
이해하는 게 한두 개가
We are
아니고.
severely behind schedule.
전투가 진행되는
While the
동안
combatants
다른
do what they
수상자들은
do, please pay
이
attention
유리로
to the
대중에 대한
following
프레젠테이션을
presentation about the
지켜보면 되겠네.
Pecatula projected onto this glass panel.
대부분의 평균
This lecture has been
수준에
prepared
맞게
with the
준비되어
assumption that its
이
students
발표가
have an
지루하거나
average
어렵다고
level of
느끼는
knowledge.
본인
So,
수준이
if
평균
you
이하라고
consider this
생각하면 될
presentation to be
것이야.
boring or too difficult to understand, then you may consider your knowledge level to be below average. All this material seems quite elementary to me. Not sure what's so difficult about this.
아직 시작도 안
Yeah,
했어요.
save that for when the lecture actually starts.
알다시피 최종은 7가지 종류로 나눌 수 있고
As you must already know, there are 7 categories of Pecatula. And as
3단계까지
far as I am aware, the highest stage of Pecatula you observed was in stage 3. So far, at least.
왜 아직까지
Wherefore
이러는
didst thou
말이지?
utter a little muttering of, so far at least, at the end of thy words, good sir?
나쁘지 않은
Sharp.
지적이었어.
Well, it's
우리
simple.
같은 연구자들은
We
모든 것을
researchers have a
제한하지
habit of
않는
avoiding
것이
absolutes in all things. Never say never, or so they say.
요컨대
So you're not ruling out the possibility that we might be running into Pecatula beyond stage 3, huh?
그러한 방향성의
Indeed.
확정 또한 제한을
We
두지 않는
prefer not to
것이지.
put down such arbitrary limitations.
아무튼
Anyway,
첫
the
번째
first type of
제종은
mini Pecatula to be
붉은색의
covered today
분노
is
제종이라네.
Pecatula eri, red Pecatulum of wrath.
불이라는 건
The
한번
nature of
타기
fire is to
시작하면
burn and burn
더
until there
이것이
is nothing
없어질
left to
때까지
be
타버리려 하는
burned.
특성을 가지고 있지.
I see. They're quite literally burning with rage. Now that I think back on it, didn't you express something like that before, Sinclair? I remember you screaming so fiercely that you could hardly control your own body. On the other hand, I don't think I've ever seen you get angry or upset, Honglu. That's because the realization of meaninglessness extinguishes the reason for the spark to start a fire. Oh, I see now. No matter how much Heathcliff or Miss Otis bully me, expressing my anger at that is meaningless at the end of the day. Okay, I did enjoy it a little when I had to accidentally step on Heathcliff's toes, but... What? What exactly is the takeaway supposed to be here? Yes, that is exactly how it is. Just act like it's nothing.
조건은 전투 시 중상을 입는 수감자가 없게끔 하는 것일세.
That okay, so that's 21? Game burn equal to the count of this. Oh, okay. Boop. Boop. And boop. do this one. Boop. And boop. And boop.
감상은 어떤가요?
There we go. Get that potency up.
오롯한 검의 길에 한 걸음 더 가까이.
Oh, wait. How do I get the... How do I get the blade for
한 번의
him?
손으로 여럿을.
Must be passive. Excess poise potency gain past 25 will be converted. Oh, okay, I see. Gotta build that poise. Gain 3 poise, plus 1 poise count. This will give us more poise. Oh wait, that one does. This.
시연합니다. 검의 확보. 이어 오롯한 검의 길에 한 걸음 더 가까이. 오롯한 검의 길에 한 걸음 더 가까이. 오롯한 검의 길에 한
Yes.
걸음 더.
훌륭한 단말만 해요.
Got like a bubble. Oh man, I don't want to use this yet. What's the stack at? Okay. Go there. Bait that with that one.
감상은 어떤가요?
소리와 호흡을 멈추고 이어 이어 공격을 허용했군. 관리자, 수감자들의 손실에 무감각한 것은 아닌가.
마지막으로 남길 말? 마지막으로 남길 말? 예술적이네요.
All three are staggered. Go here, go here, then here, go there.
감상은 어떤가요?
이어 오롯한 검의 길에 한 걸음 더 가까이. 이어 오롯한 검의 길에
Oh, okay.
한 걸음 더
Man, those start building fast. Okay. And I'm at 20 of them. Okay. Oh, it's a big one. Actually, you take that. Oh, crazy.
시연합니다.
Oh, fuck.
이제 쌀 상황골과 24개의 늑골이 자아내는 티비아의 멜로디가
일순 베어 떨구는 거 모두 하시길. 이 정도는
관람객분들께 더 이상의
Yay!
죠
So we're gonna go through like every sin. We're gonna go through wrath, pride, gluttony, etc.
모자랐군요.
Sloth. Here we go.
괜찮습니다.
I guess that answers my
결국 이번
question.
생에 별의 이름을 얻지 못하더라도
These three.
이리 주인님의 자취를 따라가는 것만으로 스스로를 단주할 수 있을.
이 떨림,
시원해.
연료는 잔뜩
교류해. 설레네요.
Next up, you three. Let's get in there.
아이,
And your voice will do, bud. We can hear you just fine without you shouting at the top of your lungs.
그다음 최종은
Now,
나타난
let us discuss Pecatulum pigrite, sloth.
바위라는 건 단단하지만
Stones are sturdy, but that's all there is to them. They are directionless and unmoving, completely surrendered to inertia.
누군가 굴려주기
They are
전까지
trapped
그
in their
자리에서
current
벗어나지
lot in
못하는
existence until someone else comes along to roll them away. Truly, there is no better symbol for sloth than them. It is inefficient to live within the bounds of rigidly established routines. Getting lumped in with these two is making me real self-conscious all of a sudden. Like just some lazy incompetent.
파우스트를 비교
Do not
대상으로
compare
삼는 건
yourself to
적절하지
Faust,
않아요.
Gregor. Should Faust become the point of reference for one's competency, the overwhelming majority of the city's population would be deemed incompetent. I'll admit that I'm not the most diligent person in the room, but I'm taking back that comment about being incompetent.
다들
Check this out, fellas. I'm not that rusty just yet.
아직
먼저 앞으로 나가는 건
Charging alone into danger poses too late. This will be harder than expected. Let us provide
가서
assistance.
도와드리죠.
Okay.
조건은 최대한 빠르게 개체를 제압하는 것일세.
Hmm. Go here. I'll actually have him attack that one too. I was gonna deal with that one and then that one.
영감이 떠올랐어요.
I didn't realize that. Ah, I didn't mean to use that one. I thought it was the first skill.
다음엔 당신을 소재로 써보고 싶습니다.
들쓸게요. 가져가요.
Oh, we're so murdered his.
소바주. 다음엔 당신을 소재로 써보고 싶습니다.
이제 힘이겠네요.
Yeah, of course they're defending.
보여드려야겠군요. 외면의 예술을.
Okay, I don't.
영감이 떠올랐어요.
This and then slap that. They're not living long.
버티나 보자고.
개라는 소재를 통달한다. 다음엔 당신을 소재로 써보고 싶습니다.
나쁘지 않아요. 이제야 친해졌네요.
And the big one.
이야기는 해장 후에 마저 하지. 소바주.
저의 뼈로 틀을 잡고 저의 살로 채워놓은 외면의 예술.
It's got red on them, so.
영감이 떠올랐어요. 그 소재 가져갈래요.
Yeah. Ah, shit.
과제가
남길 말은 없겠지.
It's fine.
언제까지 버티나 보자고.
이제야
It's dead.
너무 기뻐하지 말게. 다음 실험을 진행하지.
Just, yeah, I wasn't paying attention to how many hits Marcellus can be taken there, but it's fine.
파우스트는 이번에야말로 완성했어요. 마에스트로님께서도
Sinking
인정할
on
수밖에 없을
purpose.
완벽한 걸작을. 파시아도 파우스트의 생각에 동의한다고 하네요.
Huh.
드디어 내
내 작품 나를 점 찍었다면 벽에
Interesting.
맞는 조언도 함께 전원 집합. 이번 작품에 대해 논의할 시간이다.
다음은 탐식일세.
Next up is gluttony.
식물의 뿌리는
Roots
흙을
of plants
파내려가
dig through the
양분을
dirt in
채워야 하지.
search of nutrients. What distinguishes them is, however, that they are not satisfied with satiation alone. The roots continue to grow, seeking increasingly greater supply of nutrients. Hang on a minute. What's this? Heathcliff, after flipping through a few more pages ahead, looked up at Hohenheim and shouted, "Are we really going to do this song and dance for each and every one of these Pecatulam? Why don't we lump them together like how you've paired us up us sinners?" Ha! Running low on patience already. Only simpletons would make such a basic suggestion. It's standard protocol, in case you weren't aware. I am also unhappy about this process, but sometimes we must swallow our complaints and do as we're told for the sake of proper test results. You make a valid proposition. What? Very well. I also fail to see the necessity in fighting these Pecatula one by one, especially given the very busy schedule ahead of us. Your suggestion is accepted, Assistant. Huh? What? Really? Aren't you the one who suggested it? If we didn't have to fight them one by one anyway, then why didn't we do this from the start? Because testing them one by one yields a more accurate result. Studies suggest that the margin of error may grow by 0.06% when testing multiple entities at once. I see. But I say the benefits of a smaller margin of error outweighs the convenience of lumping them all together. Why don't we proceed as planned? Bloody hell! Just let it go, will ya? Just let it go, yeah? Yeah, Otis, come on. It's very carelessness is why. I think we can risk a 0.06% greater margin of error, right? Indeed, it is sometimes necessary to prioritize efficiency over the pursuit of perfection. I will abide by the executive manager's judgment. Very well. Then allow me to explain Pecatula morosaceus gloom as well. Orcitas? Have you ever immersed yourselves in deep waters? Quite easy to sink to the depths, no? However, the deeper one sinks, the harder does it become to rise again. The pressure suffocates you all from directions. No matter how much you thrash around, desperately looking for something to grab onto, all you find is futility. Such is gloom. I suppose one of the few benefits of working for this company is that its constant motion gives no time for such emotions to drag us down. Especially now that I have some level of confidence that they might actually keep their end of the contract. Oh, sounds like a disagreement's brewing. Even after I've joined the bus team, I still feel like I'm floundering deep in some ditch, you know? Oh, I'm only here because I want to be here, but still. Are you sure you're in that ditch by choice? Maybe you just don't know how to rise to the surface again. I don't appreciate hearing that from someone who doesn't even know what I'm talking about. Well, it's all ready now. In you go. You too, Assistant. You aren't exempt from the tests. Huh? Me too? Perfect timing. I'm getting a bit tired of all this mental exercise. Right then, let's wrap this up quick.
이번엔 좀 까다로운 조건일세. 개체 스스로 자멸하기 전에 처리하게.
Nope, that's not gonna work either. He's just too damn slow.
어디에서도 볼 수 없을 색채로.
Fuck.
식구를 건드렸겠다. 목이 비었자.
내려놔.
놈 나와.
이런 형태의 죄종도 많이 경험했던가.
Yeah, these so far are all familiar to me.
어디에서도 볼 수 없을 색채로.
Oh, I should put that on a different one. Oh well. Too late. Okay, you know what? I don't care.
전부 쳐지게.
아듀. 어중간한 예술은.
Here and here.
전부 쳐지게.
밑그림은 완성했다. 빠르게 치라도.
Oh, what am I trying to counterattack, huh?
전부 쳐지게. 흙을 마실 걸?
작품 완성. 돌아가면 의견을 나누지. 일리 있는 의견이다.
어중간한
그걸로.
예술은.
일리 있는 의견이다. 그걸로 하지.
다음 놈 나와.
Okay, big guy.
전부
Oh,
쳐지게.
Was it looking? Yep. Out. Yep.
임팩트.
Oh, okay, that could have been way worse, though.
전부 쳐지게! 야! 야! 목이 피었잖아! 야! 야! 목이 피었잖아!
Oh, got a little bit of everything on it at least.
원색적으로.
우리 식구를 건드렸겠다!
내가 공들였다면 내 장품 특별히 보여줄게.
Rar.
어디에서도 볼 수 없을 색채로.
Why is Rodian skill 3 glimmering? Damn, she did the thing. Because
다음 실험을 진행하지.
I forgot what it is exactly.
이 날카롭고 거친 궤적.
It's important to know.
도려내진 이 흉터들. 설마 거미집이 성공한 거야?
Oh, it's an empowered S3 or a possible empowered counter
이 복도 어딘가에
when it sparkles like that.
탐낼 만한 걸작이 있다는 걸.
Okay, get as many debuffs as possible on the enemy and then slap it. Pulled harpoon. Oh, dulled harpoon. Okay, so we're doing another 2 together again. I think I already know what to do in this situation. Ryoshu and Ishmael, huh? How many lunacy? 14k?
그럼 너희들 들어가!
Well, they weren't too much trouble. Next up's you two. Get in there. Yeah, so I've been insanely lucky with my pulls. So therefore I've been able to just hoard my lunacy. Oh, was it 15,000? Oh, it probably is by now. With Ryoshu? Let's do this, I guess. ST. What? She wants to switch teams. Really? Now. What's your problem this time, Ryoshu? Your dulled harpoon doesn't interest me. It's dulled so much that I doubt it can even impale that sickly nerd over there. Yep. Yep. We already know what's gonna happen here. I don't think she'll have too much trouble impaling Hohenheim. I'd much rather watch that bloodfiend fight again. Thou speakest of me? That's, tis quite the pickle. Oi! She wants to switch teams. Is that alright? Of course not. You heard the man. Let's go. I'll admit that my harpoons is not as sharp as it used to be. And I'll admit that I've lost a bit of my edge since then. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. But we're all sailing on the same boat. I'm not gonna hold you or anyone else back. I'm always ready to go back to razor sharpness when the need arises. I'm swapping you out as soon as you start making a fool of yourself. Actually, no, we're gonna murder you in turn 1. Wes, I thought I'd been clear enough on this. Switching teams ain't a thing. Pecatulum superbiae pride. Hohenheim droned on as if the bickering sinners didn't exist in his world. Wheels, symbol of technology and the vector of humanity's ultimate pursuit. The wheel, in its boundless pride, rose on and on in search of the perfect circle, something unconquered even by nature. Yet, it remains uncaring for the flesh it rends, nor the grass it tramples in its path. Isn't that just confidence, not pride? You can't get anything done by just sitting idly in place. One might even say that pride is but another name for overconfidence. It oft claims trailblazers are those who have never tasted failure. Ha! So someone like you, Hohenheim. Huh. Well, that is certainly a perspective. Next up is luxuriae, lust. Moving on just like that, huh? The meaning of peccatulum luxuriae, lust, is not exactly what it says on the tin. A more illustrative description would say that it is, yes, an obsession to spread a fragment of what forms the self, a desire to propagate, to breed. Of course, there is more to this concept than just that. While the word itself may be subject to interpretations limited to the carnal understanding, to share one's knowledge, one's ideas, to invite others into gaining the understanding of a sliver of oneself. You seek to express that such things are lust as well. Not bad. I always appreciate these discussions with the learned. There never is any dead air. Oh. It's not that bad. Admit it, Heathcliff. All of that flew right over your head, didn't it? Why even ask? Unnecessary. Shut up and get in there. Poor Heathcliff. Now it has voice acting. Yeah, I was informed that it originally did not come with voice acting. Let's see. We'll consume on that. Go there. Go there. And we'll make use of you while we have you here. Because we're just going to eat you.
수감자의 실수였나? 지휘 체계의 부족함은 아니길 바라지.
Car tire screeching noises. I don't think I heard that before. Whoopsies. Nom. And not gonna be able to stop everything with only 3 attacks, though. It'll be fine.
그려낸 대로. 이 순간이 닿도록 베어내리라. 그려낸 대로.
All right.
실수가 10회나 지속되었다는 건 지휘의 실태로 보내만. 뭐 계속해보게.
낮도 밤도 지워 숨이 닿도록 베어내고.
Here we go.
절박하게 갈망했으며 헤아릴 수 없이 저주했으니
Let's hold on to
그려낸
those.
대로
Let's do something pretty big. Less fragility, huh?
그려낸 대로 몰아치는 것을 처절한 원망 낮도 밤도 지워 숨이 닿도록 베어낼 뿐 베어낼 수
Damn.
그려낸 대로 원망도 옅어지나
I was expecting one more. I lost track, I guess.
내가 원망한 만큼 아비인 당신들도 절망해야 공평한 거잖아.
Oh.
모두 잊자. 모두 지원해자. 나는 나를 잊고
Oh, I'm gonna have to refill.
나를 지원할 테니.
Hey, these two get to go in together? Hell yeah. That's what it should be. Oh, these are the last two to go, too.
이번에 읽어줄 동화책은
2,
이것이라.
4, 6.
그렇다면 남은 것은 이상군과 본인의 차례가 되겠군.
Yeah. Verily, now is the time for young Yi-sang and I to face the test.
또한
The nature of her trial shall take form as Pecatula Invidiae.
정전기는 다들 한
I
번씩
assume that we all have a
겪었겠지?
first-hand experience with static shocks.
그것이랑
Doth a static shock have aught to do with envy?
누군가의 질투도
Anyone who's been
겪어보았다면
subject to both static shock and the envy of others must know that the latter stings in the same manner as the former does. This is peak. I ill comprehend thy explanations.
아하,
Ah, I see.
풀어
To explain in
설명해보자면
plainer example, Miss Don Quixote, you have always been fond of and held great respect for the illustrious color fixers. Am I correct? Verily, I should be second to none were my passion for them to be measured.
그렇다면
Now, imagine yourself at a convention of sorts, in which the said illustrious color fixers are holding an event to disseminate their autographs, and imagine that you are a part of the excited queue. Oh, indeed, I have mentally placed myself there. Proceed!
그런데 그대 앞에서
Yet, in great misfortune, the event comes to a close, mere moments before you were to receive your autograph. Alack for woe! Fate plays such cruel jest on my pitiful soul!
이제
Now, do
그대의
imagine,
앞에서 마지막
what
사인을
sort of
받아간
emotion
그
would you feel
팬에게
for the fellow fan who
어떤
received the final
감정을
autograph
느끼는가?
immediately before you were to receive yours ere the chance was robbed? Well, 'twould be quite the jealousy burning within mine heart, a painfully tingly sensation in my... Oh! My, you certainly enjoy explaining things, don't you? I suppose all scholars are kindred spirits after all.
우리 두 명.
You two, quit the chinwag and get in there! Verily! Then onward to a new adventure!
따라가겠소.
Then I shall follow. Hi. Yeah, you getting worried? It's okay, baby. It's okay,
마지막인
Miss
만큼
Artemis.
어려운 조건을 걸어보지.
Nice
각
Tobies.
수감자와 같은 형태를 한 수감자를 처리해보게.
What the? Uh-oh. This doesn't look very good. Seven speed. Oh, wait a second. Right, a target with a mark skill. Okay. Wait.
예측할 수 없게.
마비 교환.
Okay.
좋아. 지령에게 불확실한 것은 없네.
This is just wave 1 too at that. Dang.
그대는 어디까지 각오했을지.
The index shall conquer. Maybe.
자의 자산이 되기 전부터 자기 조건을 제시하면 조건에 맞게
Ah,
진행
alright.
중인
Poor Dawn getting Dawn did not get around.
남은 것이라도 의도와 맞게 수행해주게.
This. Alright. The post. Oh, that's not gonna matter. What is that targeting? It's targeting Dawn, huh? And the other two are targeting Dawn.
그대는 어디까지 각오했을지.
Kill Dawn with Dawn and kill Yusing with Yusing? Oh, maybe. Might not matter though. Because, I already killed them.
아프잖아.
Ah, shit. Dawn got staggered.
여발 앞으로 하나 그 슬픈 눈빛 너무 유쾌하게
Look,
선택받았습니다.
it's fine.
지리멸렬
It's omega fine. Look at this. We're done.
그대는 어디까지 가고 있을지
W core Packers.
너무 유쾌하게 그대 선택받았습니다.
Hell yeah. You didn't even get to do the whole thing.
기억하고 있으면 좋겠구려.
At turn 4? Yeah. It helped that, you know, they had the multiple attacks, so there was 2 of the marks.
불완전하더라도 지령을 끝마쳤다면
To build up the stuff. Oh, wow. We're already 2/3 of the way through? What the heck?
완전히 맞춰야 할 지령은
The price of curiosity. And we need to refill. Ah, no! My selection's been messed up.
자유로워질수.
전시 준비는 완벽하다.
3, 4, 5, 6.
시연회의 일정이 잡혔습니까?
Huh. Can't deploy Dawn, huh?
드디어 내 차례냐?
열려.
나를 점 찍었다면 격에 맞는 조언도 함께
오케이.
준비하라.
마침내
Yiseng uses 9 coins, yeah. The foundation that led to this disaster was laid by none other than Yiseng, whose only sin was making an innocent, tragically casual comment. Sometime after we ran our final tests,
안쪽을 정리해야 하니.
please vacate the room, people. Cleanup coming through. Ah, apologies. Miss Don Quixote has ought to...
조금만 기다려.
Prithee, avail me but a moment. The shoelaces upon Rocinante have become undone.
네?
What?
저번에 제가
How?
7번이나 꽉꽉
I remember tying
눌러줬잖아요.
like 7 different knots on your shoes. Ah, yet 'twere quite the hideous access, sorry to be forced upon Rocinante. Rocinante, I have tied one of them once again in the shape of a ribbon.
한쪽을 리본 모양으로 다시 묶었네. 하긴 그건 좀 아닌
Yeah,
것
the
같았어.
knots didn't look that great. Ribbons are cute.
아이고야.
Oh boy. Yet one must begin to wonder
지금의 돈키호테
about the consequences of Miss Don Quixote freeing her feet from Rocinante at her present state.
되는 것이오.
Whatever art thou suggesting? Rocinante is none other than mine eternal steed, bound to me by fate itself. None shall ever dare sever the bond betwixt us. It was a query posed toward Miss Faust, yet I appreciate your answer all the same. And Faust's reply was what set fire upon that rather combustible foundation.
저는 알 수
I
없습니다.
cannot know.
어?
What?
확보된 데이터가
An
없기에
obvious outcome,
가능한
given that no relevant data has ever been collected.
그럼
Well, then,
지금
no
확인해
time
봐야
like the
되겠다.
present to get collecting,
여기서
huh?
트럼스 아니면
Good thing
어디서
we're in a
할 수
lab,
있겠어?
too. Where else are we going to get another chance to do that?
추천해드리지는
This course of
않습니다.
action is highly inadvisable.
맞아요.
Yeah, sounds like a bad time to me. I heard all kinds of horrible stuff happen on that train the moment her shoes came off. Sure did. But that's...
그건 본인의 의지.
'Twas but an independent decision called by Rocinante itself due to certain extreme circumstances that had not to do with mine will. Well, you know, potato, potato. I was already quite aware that the core of that individual may as well lie in her pair of running shoes.
아니 사람을 껍데기.
Fie on thee! Thou shan't treat a person such as I like some useless shell. What if we slipped our shoes off and on again really quickly? The standards here at the LCE department demand precise measurements. In other words, these tests would be meaningless if all we are measuring is a hollow shell. A hollow shell?
뻔한 도발은 삼가시죠, 호에나임. 당신은 지난번 저희가 겪은 사건에 대해 아직 명확한
We've
정보를
indulged your
가진
predictable
신상입니다.
provocations enough, Hohenheim. It seems necessary to remind you that you have yet to receive the full report of what transpired during that incident. In other words, you are risking the occurrence of an unexpected event. You concern yourself unnecessarily. The construction of my laboratory boasts a rather solid build. Not even abnormalities on the more powerful side of things can puncture holes in its walls. Oh, very well. I will not force your hand. However, due to your unwillingness, I am behooved to record as such in my research journal. Due to the concerned sinner's utterly terrified reaction at the prospect of having to remove her shoes, I must unfortunately leave only a half-complete test result here. Artemis, calm down. I'm fine. Utterly terrified? Terrified? And for your information, these research reports are stored for at least a decade. Why do you nip me? Hi. Yes, we will have possession of a full record of your plain cowardice for at least 10 years. Oh, they are playing right into her her character. Outcome, not applicable. Reason, subject was too scared to participate. After much contemplation, I have come to conclude that dearest Rocinante deserveth the moment of respite as well. And I, Don Quixote, shall demonstrate before thee that Don Quixote is Don Quixote in her course still, without Rocinante's assistance. Are you sure this is a good idea, Faust? Hohenheim, if your employment at Limbus Company ever comes to a unilateral termination, I suppose the cause will be rather apparent, your highly irresponsible level of curiosity. Not a good idea. Got it. That would be my greatest honor as a researcher. Hey, if anything ever goes wrong, Yiseng will be on the ready to slip those shoes right back onto your feet at a moment's notice, okay? I shall be on the ready. Behold me not with such excessive anticipation, all. There shan't be any new revelations here. What? I know. Don Quixote begins to untie her shoes, seething. I'm okay, Artemis. I'm just voice acting. If you can call what I do voice acting. The 7-layered knot poseth quite the difficulty. Young Ishmael, wherefore hast thou tied these cords with such unwavering tightness? She was on a boat. Hi, I'm okay. I was hoping they'd be the last knot those shoelaces would ever tie. Of course! Ah! There we go! Rest thee well, Rocinante. Ow! Don't bite me! For I... She's attacking the microphone now? Okay, she doesn't like that, but she has to deal with it. She's leaving. Ow, my nose. She bit me again. The sinners and I were all quite nervous, but none of us stepped forward to stop this experiment. Why didn't we stop this? Was it because we thought we knew removing Rocinante doesn't necessarily mean that she'll be losing control? Because we saw its effects on the warp train and at La Mancha Land. Yes, I know, I love you too. No, don't bite my nose. Or was it because we assumed that Rocinante was now just a disguise, and now that Don Quixote had accepted her past as Sancho, removing it wouldn't affect her psyche at all? Whichever was the case, it was a mistake to ignore that nagging feeling. These researchers don't know what facing Don Quixote, Sancho, the second kindred, is like. We do. Mother. Oh, Mother. Our existence is death in perpetuity. Complete us. Fill our hunger. We pray unto you. Fill us with the blood of humans. With the blood of humans. The teeming, shouting voices suddenly begin to echo in my head. They're the voices of all the children he had embraced. Or perhaps this was the blood fiend's instinct given a voice, imprinted upon them at the moment of their birth. proliferate this disease, embrace this unending hunger for blood, and propagate the family. So many voices, so much yearning, so much desire. Every single kindred that has ever existed in the past kneels before Don Quixote. Oh, dearest mother, as your children, when shall we be permitted to quench this thirst for blood? I must drink blood. I have to drink all the blood. All the blood that the family deserved to drink. I must. Dante, wake up. Ain't this a lot like the last time at that building when the fire on their head suddenly exploded? I gotta get a hold of myself. Thirst. My body can't even feel thirsty. This doesn't make any sense. I'm okay. I'm okay now. What did you see, Dante? If we want to bring Don Quixote back, we're going to need to quench our thirst somehow. We need something to sate the combined thirst, the desire of every single kindred. That's not good. Do you keep any blood in here? Let's at least try to quench what's... yeah. We have some blood samples, if you need them. Damn it. Have you been listening to what the executive manager's been saying? It's the combined thirst of every single kindred. A few blood samples aren't going to do anything. So you're going to sit here and do nothing? Ain't this just a matter of getting her shoes back on? Right, these things. Shoes! Get those shoes back on her feet. I cannot. A bizarre wall of pressure surrounds her. This is one luxury cig. Good flavor. What the? I bought those luxury cigarettes with our last bonus pay. These readings are incredible. So much power. Even in a state that is, for all intents and purposes, complete emaciation. What? You egged her on knowing this would happen? I had many outcomes in mind. Some were quite similar to this, but this is beyond even the most extreme of my predictions. How the fuck are you so calm about this? We've got to do something. You haven't even seen how hard the last hits. What would be the use of panicking now? If the outcome does not align with the predictions, the first course of action should be to analyze the given data. However, it doesn't seem like our containment measures will be the answer here. Thus, the task of stopping her seems to fall straight onto all of you. Time for us to pay the price of curiosity. Oh! Oh no! That's why Don's not available. Now we have to fight Sancho. I don't think I'll feed Ryoshu for this fight. What the hell? Oh. Hang on. What is this? Terminado. Yeah, that doesn't sound very great. I don't think anybody's going to deal with that. So we're going to do that. No, actually not you. She's gonna go first. And it's probably gonna count. Yeah, it's gonna apply that Mauled Rouge before he could do that attack. Okay. It's because it's a Sancho's S3. It's meant to be pretty crazy. Which is why Faust is gonna tank. Holy shit. Well, Faust just guarded against that. Oh no, we got another bad one here. Faust could... Let's get some of this burden off of her. Get some bleed. She'll stagger though. He'll be fine. She dies, it's just more for Ryoshu. Staggered her after. Such is my luck. Faust is okay. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go for it now. Some more purple.
한 쌍의 상황볼과 24개의 늑골이 자아내는 티비아의 멜로디가.
It'll be fine.
이 순간이 닿도록 베어내리라. 낮도 밤도 지워 숨이 닿도록 베어내라.
예술적이네요.
Uh-oh. No bueno. I must. I have to be the mother to all of them. The family's thirst. It's... No, my lady. You need to be the mother of anyone here. Here. You are a sinner. Nothing more. Ho ho ho! Virgilius to the rescue! I will not place the blame on this incident on anyone, Dante. I understand that no one could have expected this outcome, given the dearth of intelligence regarding the binding tool the first kindred had gifted to the third sinner. Well then, I hadn't had that much first-hand experience with watching Virgilius fight, but this was certainly the most exhausted I've seen him after a fight. I decided to say nothing and turned the clock. After some time passed, Don Quixote, what happened? Did you lose consciousness, or did something affect your memory? Manager Esquire, my memories were fine. But I heard something as soon as I removed my shoes. Voices, right? Once again, you have witnessed me. Yes, the voices. So many voices. Voices? The voices of my family. But the blood fiends of La Mancha land are all... Sinclair trailed off. Every single blood fiend left inside La Mancha land was killed when the amusement park collapsed. In other words, most of Don Quixote's lower kindreds were dead. That is... Indeed, that is correct. But I cannot well explain how... The only way I might explain this is that it was as though my very blood remembered them still. I recognize some of them, and some were voices of those I once deeply cared for. It seems that I was, against my own desire, made to ascend to my father's seat. Perhaps I always was, ever since then. And I was struck not only by my own thirst, but the combined thirst of every single one of the children. Thirst. Indeed, I am also bound by that thirst. It is only natural, because I am a blood fiend. Thus, the pressure of it all broke my hold of sanity, and I hurt you all, as Don Quixote the Blood Fiend, a higher kindred, not as Don Quixote, a sinner and your friend. Don Quixote, this isn't your fault, it's... No, such words are now meaningless. She looked down at her pair of shoes, their strings again neatly tied. The higher office will now be regularly supplying you with artificial blood packs. Hohenheim approached us, after spending a while vigorously scribbling something in his notes. The blood substitute will be very similar to real blood in terms of composition, and we won't have any issues with supply. I don't suppose you actually believe that mere willpower would be enough to withstand this urge? I have done quite well suppressing it thus far. Indeed, and that was precisely the wick attached to the ticking time bomb within the LCB. Must I remind you that the soundness of this limiter of yours is quite tenuous, as today's events have demonstrated? Is it your implication that the purpose of conducting this reckless experiment was to determine the full extent of the latent danger? I don't know. Seemed like he was in it, only to sate his curiosity. Call it merely the auspice of opportune convenience. This risk factor had to be measured sooner or later. Had I known the full extent of the danger she posed, I would have immediately requested a forceful summoning of your department. Of course, as large as this void of unknown was, we were able to fill it with much new information. Certain analyses can be drawn by comparing the reports regarding blood fiends in this very experiment. Let us discuss the thirst you experience first, for example, the combined desire of every lower kindred. Indeed, it is true. The Manchegan kindreds have been completely eradicated due to the events of La Mancha land. But you still heard the voices of your children, yes? What are you trying to say?
피에 담긴
I aim to discuss the powerful binding force contained within blood. LCD's cooperative report explains that blood is not merely a carrier of nutrients, but something more, that it contains certain abstract values as well. We sent in a complaint that the report was far too vague in its wording, and we received a reply their on-site investigative reasoning team leader spat out, the contents of which were equally fascinating. This desire of their kind, this thirst, is something that may as well be imbued and imprinted on the familial bloodline. Normally, the weight of that thirst is far too heavy for any individual to bear, which is why they propagate. To bear the unbearable burden together. But considering that all of that desire is now focused onto an individual on account of the extinction of her entire family line, it is easy to see why her hold to sanity was so easily broken, no matter the strength of her will. She alone was made to bear the responsibility, the pressure, the duty of having to raise the family once again. And because none of those needs are currently met, there comes the endlessly exacerbating thirst, and more thirst. It is quite fascinating to see how your kind preserves these very abstract values in the physical form of blood. The mere words thirst does quite the insufficient job of describing the intensity with which you have lost control. This was my oversight, I must admit. Yeah, it is weird to have Dawn speaking normally, but nice at the same time because I'm not stumbling over her speech patterns all the time now. I do respect your efforts to be liberated from your nature, I truly do, but I also maintain that it is highly advisable for you to regularly consume the provided blood packs. Understood. But one day, I wish to dismount from Rocinante and walk bare feet and feel the earth under my own skin. I was able to establish one positive fact from this exercise, however. What might that be? That there are those who would, quite literally, throw their lives on the line to stop you, even if you were to take off your shoes. In other words, I don't believe it to be necessary for other departments to exercise any separate control over you. Well, now that I've had a first-hand account of your conditions, I will write the following in the report. Still quite unstable, yet, with the effort from the subject herself and efforts from various other environmental factors, this subject has been deemed sufficiently controllable. Once again, I do respect your efforts, or any kind of effort, really, because I've never had much use for it myself. Don Quixote took a deep breath, then turned to face the sinners. By then, her eyes have regained their usual, softer look. But sorrow was seeping through the tone of her voice. Despite her theatrical manner of speech returning, her tone reminded me of our time at La Mancha Land. My deepest apologies, dearest friends. Forsooth, I shall ever persevere to see that Rocinante, my shoes, are never to be removed again. Lass, you're looking at it all wrong. You're going to remove those shoes one day, yeah? And that's what you're going to persevere towards. Verily. I think she let out a brief, quiet laughter. Ah, Manager Esquire. Perchance, is there aught that thou concealest from my knowledge? What do you mean? I don't think so. It's no coincidence that, at this very moment, I noticed Faust looking in my direction. I don't know if I made the right choice here, but... Faust nodded lightly, as though to say that I did. I stopped hesitating, and the tick-tocking noise came to a stop. Very well, then. However, I cannot help but admit that I felt some degree of anxiety as I watched Don Quixote walk away, as though nothing had happened. That is going to bite us in the ass in the future. I know it. I love the relationship between Heathcliff and Don Quixote, really. The way those two interact.
비록 지금
Ah,
그 작품이
man.
많은 신금을 울리지는 못하더라도
Oh, it's time. Ah, that
여전히
sucks. I wish I had more
단지
time.
않은 작품을 선보이고
Okay, well, I don't know how much more is left to this Intervallo. But we will be back Saturday for certain for more of this. Depending, it might be another long stream. I'm not certain yet. I'll have more of an idea closer to Saturday. And Wednesday is currently canceled. It's still kind of up in the air. I might still stream something, but it won't be Elden Ring like I had originally planned. It might be something else. So in my Discord, which you can find a link to for the channel in the description, I will post an update once I have some more information on what I will possibly be doing Wednesday. So with that, thank you all so much for joining. Toodles!